So today I'm in the lovely South Texas town of Victoria. In 1824, Martin DeLeon, the second impresario of Texas after Stephen Austin, received permission to settle 41 Mexican families and establish the town of Victoria. 16 Anglo and Irish families also settled here at that time. Important events of the Texas Revolution occurred just outside town, including the Battle of Coleto Creek and the capture of Fannon's men, which led to the Goliad Massacre. Later in March of 1840, after a period of intense skirmishes in the area west of San Antonio, a group of Comanches went to San Antonio to negotiate a peace treaty. However, things turned sour after the Comanches returned one female prisoner whose face was mutilated and reported that she had been severely abused. Texan authorities were furious and demanded the release of more prisoners, but the Comanche chief said they belonged to other Comanche bands not under his authority. A fight then broke out, known as the Council House Fight. In the end, 35 Comanches were killed and 27 captured. In retaliation, a group of 1,000 warriors swept in from the northwest and raided this town, Victoria. They attempted to destroy it completely, but were unable to. However, they did destroy the nearby town of Linville on Lavaca Bay. In 1685, the French explorer La Salle and 180 people were looking for the mouth of the Mississippi River, but ended up on Matagorda Island here in Texas, hundreds of miles to the west. They established a temporary settlement today known as Fort St. Louis in Victoria County. This lasted for about 4 years until 1689. La Salle was here for 2 of those years, and the number of people steadily decreased over that time period due to the harsh conditions. In recent years, archaeologists discovered 8 French cannons buried by the Spanish in 1689, and they are on display at this museum. French and Spanish artifacts have been discovered at the site since. 33 years after the French died off, the Spanish returned and built Presidio La Bahia. This is the absolutely stunning St. Mary's Catholic Church, just a few blocks from downtown. Built in 1903. Near St. Mary's Catholic Church is the Lorenzo Dow Heaton House. This beautiful historic home was built in the mid-1870s. So the Reagan House has an interesting history. It was built in the historic coastal town of Indianola in 1883, but after a major hurricane in 1886, it was moved here to Victoria. Here's a potential place where you could stay the night near the downtown area. The Rosalie Guest Quarters. This is the 1871 Continental Hotel. So within a 10-block radius of the downtown area, there are several historic homes. Many of them are within walking distance, or you can even drive around very easily and see them. This is the James McFadden House. He was an important rancher in this part of Texas back in the 1800s. Built in the year 1890. It looks like there is a historical driving tour that you can do around town. Just follow the green signs. Probably the most important historical home in Victoria is the 1851 Phillips Sale House. It was once owned by a Confederate major, and it is stunning to say the least. Wow. So this historic Jewish synagogue showed up on my list of places to visit here. Let's see if we can figure out what year this was built. Okay, so this was erected in 1923. It's about to be 1 century old. This is the historic 1901 Victoria Colored School, which I'm sure once served African Americans in Victoria. And this is some history about the first Baptist church for African Americans in Victoria County. So I imagine the majority of residents in Victoria are Hispanic. I haven't looked at the demographics, but there's clearly a strong German influence in this town. So a cold front just blew in a little while ago, and so there are very strong winds right now. Not the best for recording YouTube videos, but I do want to mention a few other things before I leave the beautiful town of Victoria. If you're looking for a place to stay the night, the Inn on Main looks like it would be a great option. Very cute little place right in the downtown area. So there's a great opportunity for kayaking or canoeing the Guadalupe River. It's at a park area here on the west side of town. There's even a place where you can rent kayaks right next to this spot. And I have to say, the water quality is much better than I would have expected this close to the Gulf Coast. Far better than what you see in rivers and streams to the northeast of this location. Such a beautiful large park area along the Guadalupe River for the residents to enjoy. And at the south end of it is a really cool restaurant in a historic building called the Pump House. What a gorgeous restaurant. I'm here early in the morning before they even open, so that's why you won't see anyone here. Friendly gentleman was kind enough to let me inside and record some video. I would love to eat here. Definitely next time I come to Victoria. And so here's the grave site of one of the most underrated historical figures in Texas history, Don Martin DeLeon, founder of Victoria, the second impresario of Texas after Stephen Austin. Also the first cattle baron of Texas, born in Tamaulipas, Mexico in 1765. And here's a little information about his wife, and also his 4 sons.